What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to look at the differences between OmiseGo and Everex. Up until now, there's been plenty of questions in the chat room about what is the actual difference between the two companies, because on their website they often say similar things, but in actuality they're a bit different. Before we get started, I just wanted to get the disclaimers out of the way. I'm not affiliated with Everex. I'm not being paid for this. This is all my own personal opinion. Please do your own due diligence and never invest more than you are willing to lose. With that out of the way, some of you may have seen my previous video on the Everex ICO review. And if you haven't, I'll link to the video in the top right corner, which you'll see as a card right now. Alright, let's get started. So if you visit the Everex.io website, you'll see one of the most common questions that I see in the Telegram chat, which is how much is the hard cap, which happens to be 70,000 Ethereum. Another question about the cap is, why does the cap constantly fluctuate up and down? And that has to do with the price of Bitcoin to Ethereum. Because the ICO is fixed on a fixed number of Ethereum to EVX tokens, when the price of Ethereum rises, the ratio that Bitcoin can buy Ethereum changes as well. So if Ethereum rises and Bitcoin goes down, that ratio, you actually get less Ethereum. This has definitely caused a pain point for a lot of people in the Telegram chat, because when they see the cap move up and especially down, it's not something that people feel comfortable with. So be aware of that. One of the other most common questions that I constantly see is, how is OmiseGo different from Everex? And with that, let's take a look at OmiseGo. The parent company of OmiseGo is Omise, which is a payment processor in Southeast Asia. They've recently raised $20 million in VC funding and had a $25 million ICO. Following the ICO, Omise purchased PaySbuys from DTAC mobile operator in Thailand, which is a payment processor and gateway, and also a digital wallet system. Since the acquisition and the introduction of OmiseGo, when we go to the website and click on the product, we can see what the main offering is. And in this case, it's Omise's payment gateway, a credit and virtual cash card, top over the counter and direct debit, and real-time settlement. So in this sense, their core primary function isn't really micro-lending or microfinance. And we'll take a look at the Everex system, and their system is primarily based on microcredit and foreign exchange. One thing that I really want to point out is that Everex, their main goal is to launch and distribute their system, their base system called Crypto Cash, which can be used for microcredit and foreign exchange. Where we see OmiseGo, what their primary purpose is to get into payment channels for merchants and business. So as mentioned, I think although there's some overlap, each company is going in a different direction. And you can see that with OmiseGo going towards and making deals with McDonald's to power their payment system, and releasing out to 240 different locations, whereas Everex is partnering with Micromoney, which is a micro-lending company, to do their remittance and their microloans and microcredit. So in my opinion, it really seems to me that OMG or OmiseGo is building a platform for companies and developers to build products on. And this is where Everex is actually very specialized in, because they've been building a lot of technologies on top of Ethereum blockchain, and OMG is building their blockchain on top of Ethereum. One thing I'd like to mention is that I really respect the OMG team and their products, because their goals and their vision is definitely what I think Ethereum needs in order to bring Ethereum and payments to scale in the Asian market. It's also an area where I think many people are going to, where blockchain technology can really make a difference in the area and help change people's lives. And this is why I think both the companies are a little bit different. And if you watch their explainer video on each, you can see that they're both trying to achieve the same goal of helping people by leveraging blockchain technology to help leapfrog them and propel them into the global market. Since I mentioned quite a bit about OmiseGo, I'm going to change the focus now and put a little bit more focus on Everex. Just to be clear, I actually think that Everex and OmiseGo are very complementary to one another, because the market is so big and the industry is so inefficient in that region that both can succeed very well. So back to Everex, I actually think that Everex is more focused as a services company for the banks that would like to integrate technologies like Ethereum or even OMG's blockchain into their companies, because that's one area that I think there's not a lot of expertise in, and there's a lot of opportunity for different companies in that region. I actually haven't talked too much into Everex's revenue model, but it does look like they'll have multiple revenue streams from currency conversion, remittance fees, and also from the micro lending, which they'll use 20% of those profits to purchase back EVX tokens. OMG, you can use those OMG tokens to use as payment for different services in the network. So even the use of the tokens is a bit different. To conclude, I think that OMG and EVX are relatively comparable, but OmiseGo definitely has an all-star advisor list with Vitalik, Joseph Poon, Roger Ver, Gavin Wood, and pretty much an all-star name. But in my opinion, Everex, they have the products, they've been working on the technology, and they really have a lot of skill set where they've been focusing on development and not too much on the actual marketing, or as much on the marketing that some of these other mega ICOs have been doing. The fact that their modest ICO cap, or their modest cap of 70,000 Ether, is roughly the same as OMG was as well, which is about 25 million at today's prices, where it was originally at 15 million when it first started. Hopefully you guys found this video useful. Please let me know in the comments if you did or didn't, or if I missed something in particular, or if I made any mistakes. I'll try my best to correct them in the description below with any updates if there's anything that's been changed. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the next one, and if you have any ones that you would like me to review, please list them below. Thanks for watching.